Hi guys, welcome back. Sunday morning, England won their match last night, so that was quite good. Men's Wimbledon final, I think it is today. Watch that a bit later, I think about 4 o'clock. Right, I'm telling a couple of little pieces as it said. I think this could be a great little seller at your craft fairs, a little bit of a novelty type thing. I'll show you in a minute what I'm actually doing, but first off what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount this piece. It's just a piece of yew. It is, was it 6 inches and it's 2.5 inches square. Okay, just using up some bits and stuff that I've got. So it's got some nice patterning on it, and you'll see I'm going to put this in my chuck. A little bit of Sunday morning turning. Well, actually it's Sunday afternoon. It's 25 to 2. Bloody hell, where's the day gone? Right, okay, I'm going to get that mounted between centres, my step centres, and I'm going to start turning. Little mouth full of coffee. I'll bring the camera over a little bit. Alright, put that up there. Move this round. There's a couple of little processes on this to do, so you know, like I said, it's up to you. If you want to see what I do, then you have to just watch. If you're not over interested, then fair enough. Enjoy your day. You've got lots to watch on telly today. Right, okay, place shield on. As you go on, turn the power onto it, otherwise it steams up. Right, turn that on, let that spin up. I'm just going to get this rough down first. Get this rough down, put in the truck, then I'll talk a bit about what I'm actually making. Now, I just want this to be round. I want to keep as much diameter as I can, so what I'm going to do is just come in. That sounds like it should be near enough round there. Right, okay. Near enough, little flat spot. That'll do, because I'll screw it up again once it goes in the truck. Get a tenon on here. Tenon for these drawers. Clean that up. Right, yep, that should be alright for that. Just square it up a bit, maybe slightly dovetailed there. Right, that'll do, get that put in the chuck. Right, it's got a nice bit of grain to it, hasn't it? Right, I'm going to take this out for a minute. Right, pop that out of there. And pop that in there. Let's see how we've got it. What I'll do is I'll just very quickly, so I know it is nicely centred up, I'll bring that up. Yeah, that is, look at that. There we go. Right, tight and 1/4 turn. That's all we need to tighten up. There we go. I'll give it a very slight try. It's not square on the front there at the moment. So I'm going to take this out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to very quickly make sure this is trued up. Just by coming along with the right path with my rough gouge. That's that tumble. And now I'm just going to clean up this front edge. Square carbide. Do a dibble in the middle. Right, now this is, I'll show you what I'm actually making here. Let me stop that for a minute. Let me bring this round, take you out a bit. Oh, my fingers ain't working on the camera. That seems to go a bit dark there. Right, so what I'm making, I'm going to be making a little pot like this. So it's a little lidded pot, okay, but with a bit of a difference. And pop that in there. Right, so a little lidded pot, you take it out, you pop that out, that sits back in there. We've got a little tea light holder. There you go. I think that could be something a bit novel, couldn't it, you know? So there we go, little tea light holder. So what I'm doing, so I'll leave the candle out for a minute. So what I've done there is I've rolled beads on this one, so that when you turn it over and you pop it back in, it still keeps the same effect. So just a novelty, little novelty item. So if you want to see how I turn it, then just keep watching. Right, that seems to have gone a bit dark, that, I don't know why. I don't know what that button is up there. Right, okay, well it seems to be alright anyway. That's the colour we've got. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drill the front top for the tea light bit. Now, actually you don't want to be over there, you want to be over there. You'll see pretty much everything over that side. Right, okay, bring that up to centre, start up, turn the speed down, there we go. Right, just get this drilled. That's it. I don't want to go too, I don't want to go over deep with this one. I went a little bit deeper on the other one, and I don't want to go quite as deep on this one. The other one was just a try out, you know. So what I'm going to do now is get this cleaned up in there. Speed back up. Right, okay. And for that, at the moment, I'm going to be using a little spindle gouge. Just going to still get a slight hole there from the point of the drill. There, we're gone there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come on here and come this way. Just to clean that bottom there. That's it. That cleans that bottom, and then just to go down the side, make sure the sides are nice, square carbide. Okay. And I'll just go across that bottom right. A couple of little cuts, just make sure it's nice, right? Little divot in the middle. I don't mind a little divot. I think that acts like a little heat sink, you know. Helps to, I don't know. It might not. I really don't know. But I'm going to clean this front up. Like so. Now I'm going to put a tenon on there, and this then can determine sort of the size that the pot's going to be. So it's all going to come out of this one piece of wood here. So square carbide. I'm going to come in. Yourself about that much of a tenon there. Okay, make it a little bit deeper. Right, that's going to be for in my box, okay, the lid bit. Now, what I want, I'm going to get a pencil. The pencil. Right, now, I want the bead, and now, this is where I'm doing this bit on the lid, see, so, right, so that's going to be the tenon there, and I've got to put another tenon down this end, and have like a band or something there in the middle. So that's where it finishes. So I want to do something with that, and then I'm going to have my tenon from there, or you can go slightly less, it doesn't really matter, as long as you're deep enough from that. You don't want to end up cutting into that. So that's going to be my tenon the other end, and now I'm going to leave myself enough room, something like that, to do this bit on here, something like this top bit here. I think that's all in camera. Yes, it is. Right, so yeah, I'm going to be around about there, and then my pot will be probably about that sort of size there. And like I say, I hollowed that one out quite a bit, but you've only got to hold a tea light in it, so it doesn't matter how deep you go. If you want to hold more than one tea light, then that would be good. So what I want to do, let me stop it for a second. I want to set these slightly bigger. That's alright, then I can adjust the tenons if I have to afterwards. Right, so this here has got to be this size, okay? That's the next tenon. So coming in my parting tool, so I ball it at first. Now we're going to go down very slowly. There, just there. Like I say, I can adjust that. I'd rather be slightly over than under. You've seen that edge there. Right, and then this will be parted off. So here. That's going to be my tenon going in. The lid. So that's going to be the lid. Okay, one side of it, and then I've got the other side. Right, so this pretty much can be done to fit that tenon in there. So red carbide out of the way. So I'm going to now get rid of that. It's going to be a bit quick actually. I don't know why I'm rushing around for it. Right, okay, so let me there, that would be tight. So I'm going to go for it as tight. Yeah, that would be tight on that side there. So I might as well do this rather than taking this off the truck. I can actually get part of the bottom done first, can't I? Right, there we go, that's where we're going to be. And then all I have to do here is come in with my parting tool, which I'll put away. There it is. Right, I don't want to get in your way now, so I'm going to move you over a little bit. Put you there. That's it. Right, another little cut in there. Right, that's roughly where it's going to be, but I should be slightly smaller than I need, and then I will adjust it.
Like I said, I don't have to go over deep with this. It's only got to hold a candle. Right, well, a candle and whatever you put on the top of the lid. So when you turn it over there, it can fit in. So right, I'll leave that there for now. I'm going to try the fit. Right, slightly big, which is what I thought it would be. So let's go again and just make it a bit bigger. Little bit loose, but that's not too bad because that's the tea light side that goes in just to sit there, but it is a little bit looser than what I would have wanted. I've got room to take that down. You know, I took just a tiny little bit too much there. That's a bit silly. Right, let's make an adjustment very quickly. Come down to that. What I can do is I can just take this down, see? I'm not losing major amounts on the size of it, but that gives me another 20. Let's see. Right, we're too big again. Right, or not big enough again, I should say. Which I thought would be the case. I'm going to be very careful with this one. I don't want to take it down any more than I have to. Right, let's see. Yeah, that's just nipping in on that top, so that's not going to be too bad there. I've got a little line there, see? Right, I'm going to try that again, just following that down, quick and easy with the square. Right, it just needs a tiny little bit, which is good. Little bits at a time. Don't be tempted to take too big a cut because it very suddenly goes loose. Now that's too tight, too tight. It goes in but it's too tight. I can see where this little line is here, and that's what I'm going to be going to. This is like sandpapering with your carbide. Right, let's check it. Let's check it. And then we'll see whether we're deep enough in there. Yeah, that's it. That's the fit I want. See, I don't want it over tight. And we've still got a grain match up. So that's alright. Alright, so I'm going to take this a little bit deeper. That's all good. Just using my spindle gouge. I'm not going to go too deep with it. Clean this front edge up. There. That's clean. That feels alright. Okay, now I'm just going to carry on and get this flat bottom. Just a square carbide. Yep, that's flat. That's right, got a little ridge there. There we go. Yeah, don't touch your finger on that side like that. Come on, I've got a very little line now, I can see. Come on, come on. Yeah, that's alright. Right, okay, that's that bit done. We're done with the square carbide for now. Now what I'm going to do, clean this edge up a bit. Yeah, that's quite a nice finish on that. Right, okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the lid for a little bit. I know that's going to be alright there, and then I will bring this down to size once I've done the lid, because I am going to be making some cuts on this. So everything can chuck back up, it won't be out of line, so that's what we've got on that. So now what I'm going to do is hold that in my jaws. Just nipped, don't over tighten. Now this is where I decide what I want to do with this top bit. Now I've got to bring this right the way down to the tenon. Because obviously this has got to go inside the top, this bit, that's it. Right, so the tenon is sort of there. So that's going to be the tenon to go inside. I'm going to have to get that now to the size before I take any more. Right, that's a little bit tight. So we'll size this tenon first. Okay. Fraction more, fraction more. Remember, it's better to just stop and check and do it in little bits. There, that's going to be alright. Now, I can see now already, well, I haven't finished this bit. That would have to be deeper, because it's not going to go right up, because it needs to be a bit deeper. But I haven't actually finished this yet, so I don't know what I'm putting on this. Right, I think I'll come around there. See, on that one I've done an over. I might just do a little like button type lid. So coming in, coming over, coming in again, coming up. Yeah, a bit like that really. You just clean this up. Yeah, that'd be alright. And then this is going to be the bit that joins on, so I've got to sort of blend this a little bit. So I'm going to come round like that, just leaving that little edge that's going to be the, well, yeah, that'll be, just come round here and get that step in. That's it, that steps in. And then I'm going to do something, I'm going to roll a bead. I'm going to roll a bead for that. And then I think I'm just going to roll one bead on the other side this time. Okay, so I think that's all alright there. They don't look too bad. So what I'll do is I'll stand that. Doesn't take a lot. Nice there. Right, just so it keeps the time, I'm just going to do the one grit on this, and I'm going to put my hard wax finish on it. I did that. I oiled the other one. That's good. It's a very quick finish. Like I say, this is just for demo. Right, there we go. That's going to be that part of the wood. Nice finish. Right, like I say, play around, do whatever designs you want. Chuck key, chuck key, chuck key. Right, now turn that around. I can hold that there. I've got a perfect circle, so I shouldn't be marking it. Just holding like so. Okay, and now literally all I've got to do is roll this as a bead. Just in there. Yep. I'm going to roll that a little bit more there. It just comes round to there. That feels alright. Right, now a little bit of sand in here. I've got my face shield on, so I'm not going to worry about putting a dust extractor on at this moment. It's going to be a very little bit of sand in. Get us in my double bead. That's sand. Get inside here a little sand. If I can, get me some paper in there, that's it. That's it. Like I said, I'm just giving a one grit of paper using my 180 grit. That's it. Dust that off. A little bit of finish. a bit of canoodle wax. I don't bother about the inside of that because that has a candle in it. Although I could do a little bit, just why not? Why not? Off it. I know, Alan Gibb, you said you used this, you tried this finish, you've had that hard wax saw for a while, and you tried this finish, and wow, yes, you was very pleased with it. You did say a wow, it was brilliant. Yeah, it is a fantastic finish. That's the wrong chuck key, sorry, that's the chuck key for this one. Right, so apart from a bit of dust, that's it. Now, like I said, might not be everyone's, we'll just wipe the dust off there, everyone's ideal shape, but I don't mind that, I quite like that. And the most important thing is that it fits that way and it fits that way, and there you go. So that's how it will be. Okay, so now I've just got to finish this and bring this down a little bit, so I can go back in. I've got where my jaw marks are. There we go. And if it is slightly off, I've got plenty of room to take a little cut. Now, what I want to just see is, when I put that on, right, that's not too bad, that's slightly over, but I'm going to bring that down a bit and I'm going to roll that as a bead so it matches in with that. Not as a bead, as a half bead. Just roll the edge over. I'll just stay perfectly through. Perfectly through. So, what first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it down a little bit. You see, it wasn't a lot over, and I'm going to roll this edge. Okay, I'm not going to do it as a full bead. What I'm going to do, I'm going to test it. I'm not going to roll a bead like both sides. I just want to see. Yes, that's it. That matches nice there. That fits nice. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Right, okay. Now let's start up. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come down to where I'm going to part it off. Now, looking at the lid, I would say I want it about that deep there. And just give myself a couple of cuts, give myself a little bit of room just to do something on that bottom. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm in slightly with it. Drift that cut out. And down this way. Remember, we don't cut uphill. Right, there we go. And now this end, I'm going to roll this as a bead. For it to sit on the bottom. Just like so. So it's, again, it's like a little bead on the bottom of the cup, so that fits in with the top one. Okay. Now I think you might have seen that. Oh, if I take it around that way a little bit, you'll probably see it. Yep. Should see it all right there. Right, bit of sand in. I'm not going to over sand this here because I don't want to reduce its diameter. Nice bit of sand on that top. Sand this little bead. Alright, and now I'm going to come on with that's a 320. We have a 240 here, I think it's a 2. Hang on. I think that's a 240. Yeah, I'm going through the grip so 320, 320, that's that one. Just going through the grits here because I didn't have to worry so much on the top of that because it's got more detail to it. But with this, it's got this sort of slightly longer side. I want to just give it a little bit more of a sanding. Right, okay. That's going to do on that. Now I'm going to get a bit of finish on that. I really think these could be good, and I haven't seen it. Now I'm not saying no one's done this before. I don't know, but I haven't seen this sort of a double, take, you know, lidded pot cum tea light holder. I haven't seen it anywhere where you can turn the lid over and it holds the tea light, so I don't know. So if someone has done it before, well, good. Great minds think alike. You just got lucky. Okay, so if you have to actually see, I'm going to part this off now, and you see the actual pattern of what I did there at the bottom. So I should have moved you round, I suppose, rather than doing it, but there we go. Hey ho. When I haven't got Lisa, a little bit on the inside of it as well. Why not, says I. There. Now just that little buff in. Yeah, so I'm glad you tried this finish, Alan. You know, Alan, you are the first person that's actually come back to say they've actually tried the hard wax and the Camellia wax finish. So thank you for that, and that you was very pleased with it as well. Like you said, all those years you've spent spending fortunes on finishes, and there's something as simple as this. Like I say, that's the thing with the manufacturers, they don't want you to know how simple a finish can be, do they? Right, let's get this parted off. Get the bottom sanded up, and then that's it done. That's been long enough. Right, so I'm coming in here. I'm just gonna make sure I come slightly inward. Right, I wanna just catch it. As long as I catch it, that's the main thing. And I did. Right. In 2 seconds, guys. I've got to just stop that, change that over, put a sanding pad on that. Put that square carbide away before I catch my arm on it or something. Cut myself to the bone. Right, I'll take that out. So in this one, normally I'm using the Axminster chuck. This is the Rutland's chuck, and as you will see, takes my sanding over. So do all the Record Power ones and everything else. They all take this. Right, quick clean up on this. Like I always say, guys, you spend as much time cleaning up your bottom and sanding and doing all your bits as you want, you know. For me, I know the videos getting like, people don't watch long videos. They really don't. I know some of you do, but the majority don't. Got a nice finish on that. Right, okay. I'm going to stop that. Take this out. I'll knock that chuck off quickly, just so it's out of my way. Right, okay, let's pop that up there. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull you out a bit, get around it, pull you out a bit, just like, actually, I should actually bring you right out so you can see me, because that's what the video is. 42 minutes, bloody hell. That was a long video, wasn't it, really? Never mind. Hey ho. Hey ho. I know everyone's not watching video really because they're all watching the, oh well, you've got the tennis, you've got the football, you've got the rugby, you've got everything in you at the moment. Right, I'm just putting the hard wax finish on this. Now, like I said, if you want to set up your buffing wheel, then do your hard wax finish like that. Then buff it a little bit, then put your canoe wax on, and then finish it. I did do that inside, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Right. Okay. Let's get that on. And we'll see. Right, okay guys. So, we keep our little tea light in there. We've got our lid, which, look at that, matches up quite well with the grain through there. And we take that out, pop that back in, and we can still fairly get our grain matching up. And then our little tea light holder. So there we go guys. I think that quite a novelty little seller, isn't it, really? There we go. There. I think that'd be pretty good, that, for a seller. And if you can do it, oh, there you go, look at that. There. Now, I haven't done for tight lids, I've done them quite loose, so they fit both sides. If you want to do a pop fit, press in fit, could be good. You could make them a bit plainer, and it could be something people could take, put in their bag, take camping with them or something, couldn't they? Little tight fit clip pop, take it out, put your tea light in there, and you've got a little light in your. I think that's yeah, I'll play with that for ages. There we go, guys. That's it. And then I've got the one I've done earlier, which is the same. A little bit tight fitting that lid, that one, if you want to do it tight fitting. So yeah, I've got two of them now. Lovely. Right, thanks for joining me guys. Look at that finish on that. Look at that finish. That wax gives it such a beautiful shine. And apart from a little bit of dust where I've got it dusty, you can touch it as much as you want. Look at that, rub it. It still doesn't lose its shine. Beautiful. Right, I'll come round. I will show you there guys. Okay, see you on the next one. Toodle pip.